The hijab we should understand in its wider sense. In Islam, I would never say that the hijab is just covering the body parts. Instead, the Islam is upholding a hijab system which is very wide. We know in Quran, Allah says that, He says to His Prophet, يُدْنِينَ عَلَيْهِنَّ مِنْ جَلَابِيبِهِنَّ, in ayah in Ahzab, Surah Ahzab. In this verse, he is asking to cover the Muslim woman, to cover her faces and her body. And in the prophetic teachings, we can see that the Prophet is asking the women to reduce her sounds while they are speaking to the unrelated man. Because the reason is that speaking with her beautiful voice will lead to very drastic consequences later. Similarly, while the discussions of awra, what is to be covered in the jurisprudence of Islam, we can see that Islam asking a woman to cover her entire body while she is engaging with unrelated persons of opposite gender. Similarly, the mas'ala of halwa is very important. Engaging with a man in halwa is prohibited in Islam. Understanding all these scenarios, we can understand the concept of hijab, how it is beautiful and how it is wider than what we conceive. So friends, in conclusion, we can see that in Islam, the hijab connotes the entire covering, not only the body, but her entire qualities from the unrelated men and other dangerous situations. The question arises, why this hijab? It is needed. We know Allah created everyone. Allah is saying to the women community who created them, and He is the person who knows the entire benefits and entire qualities of them. He is arguing them to cover the entire body. Why? Why hijab is made mandatory, obligatory in Islam? Because Islam is a religion which is comprehensively approaching the benefits, the masalih of the community. While counting the benefits of hijab, we can see that the respect, it is giving the respect to the women community. How? Because they are allowed to represent in the public sphere as they are. It is a choice for them to cover what they meant. But here, the choice is made by the God who created them. So, a person who is convincing, who is living accordingly with the religion, she will be well equipped to obey the rulings of Islam. In the modern studies, one of the studies from the Arthur Hodger in the Western Scholar, he argues that this wearing of hijab, I mean the scarf, it is protecting the women community from the depression. More than that, the mainstream view of viewing this women community as the sexual objects, the patriarchal suppression upon the women community is erased from the mainstream sphere by these rulings. So friends, what I'm saying is that it is the only religion, the Islam is the only religion which valued the real value of woman in this world history. Because in the pre-Islamic history, while we are examining it, we will come aware, we will make out the point that it was a situation where only the upper caste, upper higher dignity women are allowed to wear what they are intending. Instead, the suppressed women are prohibited to wear this hijab or the thing that modestly cover her body. So it is Islam which made this reality that respected the value of womanhood. And at last the question comes, how this hijab becomes a respect to the woman. First and foremost, the argument that the Westerns argue that the exposing the body parts is a part of freedom. It's a quite blunder opinion. Why? Because the right to cover her body is the actual ultimate right to a woman. And also the studies from the western part reveals the fact that the opening, the exposing is the reason for the anti-harassment rates in the western world. More than that, while the woman is allowed to wear hijab, she is get respected. She is telling herself that I am not the person what you are thinking. I am a Muslim and I want to live as a Muslim. So the woman is respected by wearing, by allowing them to practice the entire wider sense of hijab. By these words, I am concluding. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.